Hi everyone, welcome to Connected by Games.
Today, we're going to show you how you can beat your friends at Azul. So our first tip here is to clump your tiles close together. So it's kind of obvious that the goal of the game is to get the most points, and to get the more points, you want to put your tiles right next to each other because they increase like a little bit more every single time. For example, one tile is 1 point, put another tile there is 2 points.
And then it can even start going vertical as well. And
Exactly. So the more you can get all the tiles close, like almost into a square as possible, make it into a blob, like you'll get more points that way. So make sure that you're clumping your tiles together.
Our second tip for you is to not be afraid to take that player one token from the middle. Like, you don't want to take it just to take it and say like, ha, I get to go first. I guess maybe in a 4-player game, maybe that would be the case. But don't be afraid to lose that 1 point. If there's something in the middle that you really do want or need, it's just 1 point that you lose, and it might help you later on so that you might not take as many, or I don't know.
Yeah, and you mentioned this before, but like it does matter in depending on how many players there are. It's more important in a 4-player game to go first because if you go last in a 4-player game, there's 3 people before you. But if it's just a 2-player game, like the person can only take one thing, so you can really you almost have whatever choice you want anyways.
Yeah, and if you kind of pick up on if there's someone if you're playing a 4-player game and you pick up on someone that's right before you that continuously is picking up that player one, you're in a really good spot. You get to go second without losing any points.
Exactly.
So kind of looking at those different trends that are happening throughout your game.
And our third tip here is you want to fill up on the left side of your board right there where you're trying to fill up the rows. You want to make sure that you don't leave anything unfinished if possible. Sometimes it's just not possible to leave it unfinished, but do your best, and if you're going to take negative points for it, it might be sometimes better for if you were good to take 3 tiles, you might want to fill up a 2 space and have 1 fall to the floor, so get minus point, then put the 3 in the 4 row and leave 1 blank, because what happens is the next round you might end up with a huge grouping that you can't put in that 4 row, and you're going to take a lot of negative points.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a certain, like 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, then it starts to get to 2, 2, 2, and those add up really fast.
So if you could take that just like 1 point this round, it's much better than losing like 6 points next round, right? So
yeah, so finish those rows so that you can get those points onto your board, because like it's only going to be 5, 6, I would say 5 to 7 rounds at max.
Yeah.
So you don't want to leave one of those rounds where you're not getting those clumping points together, and you want to make the most of it, I guess. Okay, so for our 4th tip, basically, is just don't go for too much. Like we were saying before, a round, or like the game is about 5 to 7 rounds or so. So if you're going for too much and you're trying to get all the same colors of like 2 or 3 of the tiles, like there's a chance you can get it, but if a player might not be having a great game and they notice that you're going for those colors, they might just try to block you, and now you're just kind of wasting. You're still getting some points, but you're wasting your spots where you could be getting better clumping. So if you're going to go for some of the bonus points of getting the columns, the rows, or every single tile of the same color, then just don't overstretch yourself.
And on top of that, like if you see someone going for too much, try to collect those single tiles, because then you have the power to end the game, right?
Yeah.
So having the power to end the game is actually really powerful, because you can either delay the game if no one else is doing it, or you can end it when you're already ahead.
Yeah.
Our final tip here is those bonus points that you could possibly get. So a couple of the bonus points you get is 2 points if you finish a row, which means ending the game, which you want to end the game anyways, because you want to end the game in your terms.
And then you get 2 free points for it.
There you go. But the other 2 that we want to talk about is the colors and the columns. So you get 10 points for getting all the same colors, and you get 7 points if you fill up a column. And out of the two, if you had to pick one, it might look like the colors are better because you do get more points. Throughout the whole game, the columns, you'll be getting points because you're connecting those colors like down the row, right? That goes back to the clumping tip right there, where you're naturally already clumping tiles together. Unlike the colors, if you look at them, they're all diagonal to each other. So if you get all of the same colors, they're never going to be touching. You have to get like another color in between to connect them. So it's sometimes more beneficial to get all the columns done, or as many columns as you've done, instead of the colors, even though the colors do give you more bonus points.
And sometimes by doing the columns, you might accidentally just get all the same bonus color, or the colors as well. So I don't know. I think last time I played, I kind of ended up with two of the getting all the same colors, and I didn't really go for the second one. So kind of sometimes it just happens.
And those are our tips and tricks on how to win at Azul. And now you can beat your friends at Azul if they haven't watched this video yet. If you learned something from this video, please give us a thumbs up because that helps us out a lot.
Yeah, and if you want to purchase Azul, we put a link in our description, so you can just go right down there and click it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and we are Connected by Games.